you can only do one thing, that whatever skills you have, just polish them well and bring them on board. Rather than you thinking that, why don't I learn everything? Because you'll never be able to learn what another person spent 15 years mastering. So don't do that. You can't spend 60 years learning skills and then coming and start. So might as well do what you know best. And there will be some skills that you'll resonate with more comfortably.
Hello everyone, my name is Panisha Puri. Welcome back to our channel Xaphal, and today we have with us Mr. Chaitanya, who is running his own startup. Let's get to know more about his story and the skill set required to start your own startup. So hi, welcome to our channel Xaphal. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you so much for having me.
So before we move towards your story, your journey, let's talk about you a little bit. Tell our viewers about your current startup and what you're doing right now.
So our current startup is basically, our tagline is "Learn to Eat Better," and the name of the startup is Niwi.ai, Niwi.ai. What we basically do, our core services that we provide very customized diet plans for you if you want to improve your health or lose weight or maintain weight or even gain weight in a healthy manner. And our angle is that we don't really get into complicated things like calorie counting and things that are difficult to do in a long term basis, so we just try and teach people how to live in a healthy manner by incorporating healthy habits, and then as they see changes in their body, they get more motivated to continue our program. That's what we basically do.
So, what was your mindset at the time when you started this startup?
The mindset was really, I read some statistics that India is a diabetes capital of the world, and I thought that why should we be that, and we have such a large vegetarian population, we have such variety of meats, we have such variety of vegetables, fruit. It's not like because of the temperature or the climate, we don't have enough nutrients. So we thought it's really just about understanding what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and at which season to eat for different people. And that knowledge was probably the gap missing between people actually living a healthy life and not living a healthy life. And the outcome is that if you don't eat well, you may be doing all the sorts of exercises, but it eventually won't really help if you don't eat well, even for your recovery or your rest or your moods or your sleep. Eating well is really, really important. People end up paying in lakhs later for damage control. So we tell them, why don't you just invest in your health a little early so that you don't get to that point. And obviously longevity and how long you live is basically is also directly linked with the your nutrition quality.
It's the need of today's generation.
Yeah, I mean, of course, now the quality of foods and what the cheat meals and the snacks, it's very difficult to not want to have those. That's how psychologically we're trained to enjoy those. We relate a good time with unhealthy food. It's okay. It's always completely acceptable that you want to live, you want to party, you want to have a balanced life, but the key here is balance. But then you should know what to do in the other times you're not having a great time. And what we've noticed is most of our clients start relating actually eating better and eating clean with a good time as well. And that is really a huge lifestyle change, and it changes their mindset around eating. They don't It's not like a diet or you just eat salad. It's not crash diet. It's something that our program is based on. Can this person keep doing this or at the same level of intensity for another year? And if the answer is yes, that's the formula we go with. Otherwise, it's probably too difficult or too easy for that person.
You were interested in this field like in your college days, or you developed this interest later when you saw there's a need of this thing?
My college was actually, I did law, and then I practiced law in Delhi for about 8 years. Uh, but I realized that I wasn't in a space where like there wasn't like true love for that subject. It was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the part where you could get to court and argue and speak and uh, you know uh, and think very, very critically, logically. All those parts I enjoyed, but then as a subject matter, I don't think I felt that this is something I want to do for the next 40, 50 years. And then coupled that with my own journey with weight loss and getting fit was something that, really, really, if you've gone through the experience, there's no better teacher than that. So these two things made me really, sit up and notice that, something that you've been through and something that you truly enjoy, and see the results for later, and you want to share that feeling with others. I think everyone deserves to feel that way. Yeah.
Right. Before the startup, do you need to do any of the courses or any of the things that might be helpful for startup?
I think because I came into the startup world just after my 30th birthday, I did not give myself the luxury of spending 6 more years learning, and I thought there's no better MBA than just doing your own business. uh, if I would have been more inclined towards the startup space or business for that matter in my early 20s, I would have invested in education during that time. But I did my master's in law and then I started practicing. So a lot of time and that was obviously, that was also great time invested because there's so much from law that I bring here. But any kind of upskilling is always useful. Like the first draft of our website was something that I had only made on, I learned it
Oh,
on my
you
own. I
you
went
made
to,
you made this website by your own?
yeah, the first draft that
Great.
you see on the website was something I just did it on a platform called Wix. It
Okay.
was so it took me a few hours and a few days every, few hours every day, and within about a week or 10 day I got that up. And then of course we got a more professional agency to really redo it, and so that part, and an app I can't do on my own. And I also feel that it's better to collaborate with people who know a particular space better than you, rather than you having to learn every skill.
Right.
You bring your skill to the table, get others who bring different complementary skills to the table, and then you have a strong team foundation.
So, to do a startup or to do any of the work in the industry which you are in, it requires a particular skill set. So, how you develop those skill sets?
Ideally, there are many skill sets that are required to run any kind of vision. I'll bring something to the table. My other co-founders will bring something other to the table, and the idea is that you don't really bring similar similar skill sets, because it's just a lot of it will be replication and uh, not too favorable. So it's better that you all bring in different skill sets which complement each other. So if I don't have tech skills, my co-founder is, very, very, very comfortable in the tech space. So he'll bring that space. So he'll bring that expertise. Our other co-founder is someone who has that 20 years of experience as a nutritionist. So she brings in that complete knowledge of nutrition and what to eat, how to make the diets, and all those things. So these this and the other co-founder that we have is somebody who's really dealt with products and markets and marketing and showing how the products are providing their services well. So this kind of difference in the skill set, I think, is very, very important. uh, you can only do one thing, that whatever skills you have, just polish them well and bring them on board, rather than you thinking that why don't I learn everything, because you'll never be able to learn what another person spent 15 years mastering. So
Right.
don't do that. You can't spend 60 years learning skills and then coming and start. So might as well do what you know best, and there will be some skills that you'll resonate with more comfortably.
Can you just
Hmm.
explain a little bit about your skill of negotiation?
Well, I mean, as lawyers, obviously, it's a lot of it is negotiating and not offending while negotiating, being respectful of how you're putting your point across, and yet seeming convincing enough, and having that, ability to change your mindset. In the startup space, when you're hustling, you're speaking with 15 people, and asking them to reduce their prices. You're saying, please collaborate with me. Today I'm nothing, but in the next 3 years you'll hear of me. Put in that trust in me right now. Invest in my vision. Those kind of things require you to be shameless and also be good at negotiating.
Right.
Because you can't think that if the person says no, how will I see him? I mean, they will say no. You're not anybody today who anybody will say, here's my money. uh, so you need to build trust, and for that you need to do the groundwork, and that requires a lot of hustle and a lot of convincing and a lot of self-belief. So you can't just shoot from an empty tank. You also need to have that self-belief that, yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. We as a team know what our vision is, and we know we can deliver. How much time it will take for us to deliver that quality is what we're trying to reduce.
Right.
If we could do it completely in 5 years, what can we do to do it in 2.5 years? What can be done? So negotiating, speaking with respect, having clarity of vision, clarity of your messaging, all these things are very, very important. And this is a skill set that I picked up in my previous profession.
When you got this idea, do you did this market research or something?
I mean, I knew this for a fact that this is, see, initially when you think of a startup idea, the main angle that you want to work towards is there a product market fit, right? Now, product market fit is nothing but seeing whether your product or service is going to be paid for or of value in the market,
Right.
right? Now, then you see what is your market. It was pretty clear that uh, weight loss, health was a market that's not a small market. It's something that pretty much everybody today in every house either needs improvement with, or is or needs some guidance with. So we understood that the market is huge. The potential for learning how to eat better is huge. Now our angle really just became, how do we provide good service in that market? If we can only convey to them that invest early and probably save lakhs for later from a money perspective, because Indian consumers are very money minded, uh, and from a health perspective, you statistically will end up living 10-15 years longer if you just eat better.
Right.
Now, isn't that a win-win for everyone? Like, nobody in your family would want you to go quickly, and like we say, oh, that person lived king size but died at 60. Why would that be an aim? Why not live with respect towards themselves and lived a great life till 85, 90? If there's a disease or something that you're diagnosed with, which it's probably unfortunate that happens, but but a lot of things are preventable. And if you start investing in your health, and this is not a situation where we say have tomato juice 24/7 for 10 years and you'll have home food. And what about home food? What are your micronutrients? What are your macronutrients? Give your body the fuel that it deserves for it to perform optimally. It's as simple as that. Now, you're not taught that because it's a skill, it's a science. And what we want to do is we want to teach you that science. It's effectively an education program where you yourself are going to get better. We're not just handing out a book and saying, read this and try and follow it. We're going to coach you through it. We're going to have weekly video sessions about it. We'll take your inputs on it. Your birthday, I like birthday cake. When is your birthday? Have a great birthday cake. All those things are going to be incorporated. I have a party. My cousin's wedding is coming. Have all that you want to have. But then your mindfulness around when I have to eat clean, when I have to give my body rest, my digestive tract needs a bit of a break. All that knowledge is something that we work, on building with you. And within a few weeks, you'll start feeling a difference. And of course, your body, you shed the kilos. It's a more tangible feel that, okay, I'm stepping on the weighing scale. I'm seeing a difference. That's great. But there are so many other things. You literally, your mood is better. Okay, why wouldn't you want to be happier? You sleep better, your quality of sleep is great, your concentrations become better. um, your immunity definitely shoots up. It becomes better. In today's time, you need better immunity. There's so many things, and obviously your weight becomes optimum. Your value becomes more if you're just deep into a subject. So there's a saying: don't go mile wide, go inch wide, but mile deep.
True. Great.
So that probably helps. So if you have a goal that this is where I want to be, then you work towards that goal.
Thank you, Chaitanya, for sharing your insights, and this will be helpful for the students who are watching our show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.